All right, it's week 16 of the NFL season. 3 games away from the postseason. Dang, it's getting a little hot, heated in the NFL right now. What's going on, guys? My name is Antonio, and this is the AAS, All Around Sports. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are going over my picks for the NFL week 16 of the NFL season. Loads of key matchups, including a Super Bowl preview on Monday night, which will be going over all of the matchups of your week 16 for your teams, whichever teams you are a fan of that are watching this. Also, the last week before Christmas, we already have our Christmas tree up. So, let's get started. Without further ado, let us get started. First off, Thursday night, which is going to be a good matchup, you got the New Orleans Saints going on the road to SoFi Stadium to take on Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams, I have them picked to win this game because Matthew Stafford is performing at a whole nother level since he has returned, and this guy is just so good. I see Stafford and the Rams getting the win. And then with that, you got one of 2 Saturday games between the Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals and the Mason Rudolph and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jake Browning has performed at a such elite level going against the team that originally cut him in the Minnesota Vikings, and he came back to win in overtime. Meanwhile, the Steelers losing another game to the Indianapolis Colts. With this game, it is going to be a close game because it's a divisional matchup as normal. I'm going to give the props out to the Bengals. I have the Bengals winning this one by 7. This is going to be a good game, but in the end, I see Jake Browning and the Bengals coming out on top and sending the Steelers to 1 loss away from entering the first losing season under Mike Tomlin. And then, Saturday night, you got a blowout of a game. You got the Buffalo Bills going on the road to take on the Chargers. Is this a question at all? Is it a question? I don't think it is. I'm picking the Bills to beat the Chargers in a blowout fashion, even with Brandon Staley gone. And with that, you have the Washington Commanders going on the road to take on the New York Jets. I'm going with the Commanders on this one, redeeming themselves after last week's loss to the LA Rams. And then, an NFC North showdown between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. I'm the winner. If the Lions win this game, they will clinch the NFC North for the first time in a very long time. But I'm going to go with the Lions here, clinching their first NFC North title in over 50 years, which would be insane. And with that, you got a playoff implication game on the line. You got Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns taking on Case Keenum and the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud, still in concussion protocol. I am going with the Browns because Joe Flacco is a whole nother beast right now. Even though he threw interceptions against the Bears, and 3 interceptions I think it was, he still came back to win the game when it mattered the most. So I see Joe Flacco leading the Browns to victory, keeping their playoff hopes alive. And with that, you got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'm going with the Packers on this one because the Packers are going to be coming in with a purpose, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. I think they do, and they keep their hopes alive. And then, next, you got the Seattle mother-loving Seahawks taking on the Tennessee Titans. Seattle coming off of the upset of the week last week against Philly. Meanwhile, Tennessee blew the lead against Case Keenum and the Texans last week. Will Levis did get hurt, but he, according to analytics, he will be playing this game, but I don't think it's going to matter. even though it's in Tennessee, I'm going to give the props out to my Seattle Seahawks because they just pulled the upset, and I see them keeping their very slim playoff hopes alive. And then you got the Colts going on the road to take on the Atlanta Falcons. I have the Colts winning this one because Minshew is a whole nother beast than Taylor Heineke. And then you got the battle for the state of Florida as the Jacksonville Jaguars go on the road to Tampa Bay to take on Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. I'm going with, oh my God, this is my hardest decision I have had to make today. But, I've had some respect for Baker Mayfield, but this time I'm going against him. I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to get the win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and keep those AFC South hopes alive. And then, with that, you got an afternoon showdown in Miami as the Dallas Cowboys go on the road to take on Tua and the Miami Dolphins. The Cowboys coming off of a blowout loss on the road last week to the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, Miami coming out of a blowout win on their own against the New York Jets. In this game, I see, oh my God. Oh, the Cowboys are 3-4 on the road. Last time I had the Cowboys pick, but I picked the Bills. This time, I'm going to be for real this time. I'm going with my gut. I am taking the Miami Dolphins to beat the Cowboys. The Dolphins are 6-1 at home. The Cowboys are 3-4 on the road. I see Miami pulling this off and keeping the AFC East hopes alive. And then, with that, you got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Chicago Bears in the Tank Bowl. I see the Chicago Bears winning this game to get the win and beat the Arizona Cardinals. And then, Sunday night on NFL Network, you got the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick going on the road to take on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. This is going to be an interesting game. I normally root against the Broncos because I'm a Seahawks fan and I didn't like the trade. This time, for the second time this year, I'm going with the Denver Broncos to beat Belichick and the New England Patriots because Belichick is not the same without Tom Brady. He's not the same. And then, one of 3 triple headers on Christmas Day as the Las Vegas Raiders go against the Kansas City Chiefs. Still weird to say Las Vegas Raiders. It's still weird. But I see the Chiefs coming out on top. It is going to be a close one because it is a divisional matchup. I see the Chiefs sweeping the Raiders in another win, and maybe the Chiefs might actually clinch a win this time. And then, an NFC East showdown as the New York Giants and Tommy DeVito go on the road to take on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Eagles have had some struggles coming off a loss to my Seattle Seahawks. I am going with the Eagles this time because I don't see them any way possible losing to Tommy DeVito. I mean Danny DeVito. I mean Tommy DeVito. I mean Danny DeVito. I mean Tommy DeVito. And then, last but not least, the game that has been highlighted on the calendar, the game that we have all been waiting to see, a Super Bowl preview between Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens and Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, and the 49ers. Oh my God. This is going to be a very close game in my opinion. Both sides 11-3. They are just so firing right now. They are all firing on all cylinders right now. Eagle fans are kind of hoping the Niners lose. But, oh my God. This is my hardest decision I have had to make between these two sides. But, you know what? I am going to take the San Francisco 49ers. Because the Niners are a team to beat in the NFC. I'm going to say this. If they beat the Baltimore Ravens. They could win there, go on the road, go into Las Vegas for the Super Bowl and bring home their first Lombardi trophy since 1995. I see that happening. If the San Francisco 49ers can pull off the win at home, if they would win this one and the Eagles somehow lose to Tommy DeVito, then the San Francisco 49ers would then clinch the number 1 seed if that ended up happening. But I don't see that happening. I see the Eagles coming on top of the Giants. But the Ravens it's going to be a battle, but I see the 49ers pulling out on top by 7. I'm going with that, and I'm going to stick with that. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think of each particular matchup, and I'll catch you all in the next one. So long for now.